Hello and welcome to SoulSchool. This is Theolyn and I'm talking about Archangels again. The other day I was making a video about Michael. Here is my image of Michael. And I mentioned that there can be an issue about colour in relationship to the angels. And that some people, for example, think of Michael as wearing blue. Now, the kind of metaphysical deal here is that the archangels are beyond the rainbow. There is no colour in the realm of archangels. The colour occurs when we experience them, and therefore we are likely to put on them colours that feel right to us. And why would certain colours feel right to us and not others? Well, for example, the quality of the Archangel Michael would be related to sunshine. He's associated with the sun. So if I was going to create an image of him in my mind, that's where I would go. I would go to the sunshine, which is yellow and golden and so forth. And that is something that's not just personal to me, but it's cultural as well. So there are certain colours that we associate with different qualities. Now, from a very personal point of view, but also a cultural point of view, I personally feel that blue doesn't quite work for Michael, because blue in the artist's palette is regarded as a recessive colour. It's an inward-looking colour. And Michael is not a recessive archangel. He's warm, like that. So that's what I feel. But I also am aware of how people can experience the archangels in very individual ways. So I never say to people, for example, oh yes, Michael is always yellow or golden. I wouldn't dream of saying that. And if people pick up from Michael any other colour in the whole chromatic scale of colours, then that's entirely personal. And you must work with them in the way that feels just right for you. So today I'm wearing purple. There's a great song about that, actually. I'll give you a link to it below. I want to wear purple. So to keep on track with our archangels, who's the purple archangel? Well, in my visionary experience, it would be Zadkiel, who could easily wear purple, or perhaps a very rich velvety blue colour, the kind of colour that I personally would associate with a high priest. And certainly Zadkiel, the archangel, could be associated with a character in a biblical story called Melchizedek. So if you notice there, the Zedek at the end of Melchizedek is pretty much the same word as the beginning of the archangel's name, Zadkiel. And that's because that word, Zadka, in Hebrew is to do with righteousness. So Melchizedek is a king of righteousness, and Zadkiel is the righteousness of God. And what's also really worth thinking about, because we like to meld in the astrological stuff here, Zadka is the Hebrew word for the planet Jupiter. So that's who we can associate with this archangel, Jupiter. And Jupiter in astrology is about generosity, spirituality, religion, law, justice, and those all come under the umbrella of righteousness. So here's my image of Zadkiel. And right now, where I live anyway, Jupiter, the planet Jupiter, is very bright in the sky at night, very twinkly. So if you get the chance on a clear night to look in the skies and you're in the northern hemisphere like me, you should be able to spot Jupiter and say hello to Zadkiel, because Zadkiel is the angelic guardian of that planet. And this is an important thing to think about in the way I work anyway, that the gods and goddesses, after whom the planets are named, the gods and goddesses were always quarrelling with each other in those old mythologies. They were always fighting for their corner. Whereas with the archangels in the empire, they are working as a team. They are in a holistic framework, the Tree of Life. That's a holistic framework. And even if some of them are on the assertive or yang side of the tree, they are counterbalanced by those on the yin, or sometimes called passive side of the tree. Passive isn't a very wonderful word because people tend to associate it with not doing very much. But both sides, as in yin and yang in the Tao, both sides have their own power. Zadkiel is definitely on the yang active side of the Tree of Life, and his potency is very spiritual. He's a great bringer of wisdom. He brings a generosity of heart into your life. And when you work with your inner empire of archangels, you can benefit from that energy, just as you can benefit from the energies of all the other archangels in the empire. So, join my class, Empire of Archangels, starting 19th of October. I'd love to see you there. Many blessings.